Not to sound like a cringy YouTuber that does vlogs, gets into some drama, and then puts up an apology video, but then has to delete it and then re-record it and then starts a video by saying, I've tried recording this so many times! But this is not the first time that I've recorded this video. And the reason for that isn't because I messed up the recording. The reason is because I had this moment where I had a genuine facepalm moment. And the reason for that is because if you've been following this channel for a while, you will know that in a lot of the games that I play, it's very easy to make certain shapes. And I alluded to one of those particular shapes that you can accidentally make at the end of the last episode. And then I thought to myself, okay, between that episode and this one, I want to do one or two little things. I want to get rid of the staff room that used to be in the departures area, and I want to start making some space for some shops and some restaurants. And I did that. And then I zoomed out and I realized that the 3 spaces that I've made make very it's not as bad as it could be, but I just think that the floor textures need to be no, that's not different enough. I'm just not sure what to do here. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just do some blue for that one and blue for that one. And honestly, that's a little bit better. I will live with this. I also put this in here and put some chairs along there to kind of make this a bit of a corridor. Long story short, I may or may not have once again accidentally built a massive in a video game. So yeah, that was why this episode had to be stopped and restarted, because I had a facepalm moment and then I just went, oh no, not again. It was a whole thing. Anyway, we're gonna research cafes. We're gonna put some shops in here. We're gonna see what we can do. So this is gonna be a shop room, and this is gonna be a shop room. I also need to go in and say that this is a secure zone over there, because I messed about with some walls. And what we can do is essentially go ahead and say, let's get a shop counter, which, if I remember right, needs to be that way around, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll do a shop counter in the corner there, and in the corner there. And then we'll go ahead and just throw in as much as we can. So we have got some wall-mounted options. We have got, let's do wall-mounted stuff for a minute here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's see what we can do here. So nice are going to be some nice shelves. 1, 2. Let's we do these slightly differently. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And then I don't really know what else to do here. I'm not going to lie. We could do some something like this, I guess. So I don't know if that's a good idea at all, actually. Let's do let's just do this. Let's do that. Leave a bit more of a space between everything, but that should be fine for a decent shop. And then I'm just going to mirror that, essentially, is what I'm going to do. So we're just going to do exactly the same thing over on this side, which means whatever quality shop we end up getting here, we'll have the same on each side. And again, I'm kind of okay with that. So we'll let those get built up. We're going to wait for a restaurant to come in here. Then a little restaurant can go in there. It's not going to be anything too fancy, but it'll be enough is what it'll be. And then we can maybe open up a restaurant over this way or down here or anywhere else, really. I'm sure I can figure out a space for it is what we can do. But I like this. I like that we have this very noticeable corridor in the middle here at this point. I think that's kind of cool. And I know we've also got these these walkalator things, which I love. I love that we have these. I'm very tempted to use one actually, because it would fit in there so well. It really would. It really, really would. Do I put a walkalator in here? Also, can we point out that the large one is enormous and is almost as wide as our terminal itself? I love that. Let's do some walkalators. Although, can they get off of, can they easily get off a walkalator? No, they can't just get off at the side, can they? So if they get on it, they're not getting off of it. So I'd need to change this about a little bit, which might be a bit of a pain. Because I guess if they wanted to go to one of the shops, they don't get on the walk-a-later. Interesting. We might need to ever so slightly redo some of this, which I'm totally prepared to do. So sure. Let's get a walk-a-later. I think that's the middle, so there. And then what we'll do is go in and say bulldoze this right here. And then what we'll go in and do is say give me some walls, and then give me a door. And then we want some chairs in there, and we're just going to sort of shift everything a little bit is what we're going to do. Making a little bit less space between those chairs, but that's probably okay. That's not really the end of the world. And what we can also go ahead and do is maybe just redo the floors ever so slightly. So that bit's going to be marble. That bit is going to be marble. And then this bit in here is going to be the dark wood is what it's going to be. So we'll let that all get built. We'll put the walk-a-later in that goes from left to right, and then we'll get another one in that goes from right to left. I mean, it's completely unnecessary. We don't need it in the slightest. It's kind of ridiculous. I'd be very surprised if it actually gets used because there's another option. You know, you can not use the walk-a-later if you so desire, but there's two of them there anyway, and that's fine. I also don't need a door there. The doors are going up here for this particular restaurant. I just remembered that bit. So we'll see how this goes. I'm actually quite curious to see if the walk-a-laters get used, because I just don't think they're gonna. I just don't, though. Those shelves should not be that color. I just don't think they're gonna. I really don't. Let's do a nice light blue for everything in there. That's maybe a little much, but sure. We'll do some nice light blue shelves in there as well. Everything's just very blue in there. Let's see then. So we can do a 2-star place. We can get Fly Go in there. And in this side, I'd be very surprised if we can do 3 stars. No, we can. Okay. So we can get Turner into that one as well. Apparently the staff are en route. I would certainly hope so. And as for the walk-a-laters, they're just getting ignored. They're literally not getting used. They're literally not getting used. I mean, people are going, why would I think they would? Why would I assume that the walk-a-laters would get used? Why? Okay. Get those out of there. Get them out of there. We don't need them. We just don't need them. Get them out of there. That was a complete waste of time. Let's see here. So airline lounges. Why did it look like airline lounges had a blip on it there? So we got that and that, and we've got the buffet tables, but are the lounges still aren't getting used? I did have someone in a live stream chat recently mention that the airline lounges didn't work in the current version of, I almost said Prison Architect for some reason, of Airport CEO, so maybe that's what's going on? That could very well be the case. Let's throw some drinks just there, and let's throw some, I guess, food there and there, and let's also make sure that's within a secure zone. So something like that. And let's see. So drinks machines, I'm going to make them nice and bright red. And then the food machines, I'm going to make them yellow. And the reason for that is basically Coca-Cola. And if you've ever been to Northern Ireland or Ireland in general, you might know of Tato crisps or chips if you prefer. But they're Tato. It's a brand of amazing crisps. So good. So good. So that's why that's bright yellow is what that is. And it's probably a weird place to put those. I don't know if they, I don't even know if vending machines get used. I really don't. I have no idea if vending machines actually get used in this or not, but whatever. I also never added my administrators to the cafes, did I? I'm sure that was something that was noticed right away when I did that. Good news is that we got Ultimate Commercial. So that's actually fantastic news. We could also go for multiple terminals if we really wanted to. But I think it's probably about time. Well, actually, no. I was going to say it's about time for medium aircraft. I'm going to say cabin cleaning is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try and get us to a point where we are prepared for medium aircraft. I think that's important that we, you know, as soon as medium planes start landing, we do cabin cleaning. We do everything we can do. I'm also going to say that we're putting a door back down here and clearing those two out, because that's going to be used as a way through the terminal, which is not something we want whatsoever. We want people using this bit down here. We don't want them going through the restaurant just to get from one side to the other there. So we'll hopefully have some workmen coming over this way pretty soon to sort that out for us, if they wouldn't mind. There we go. So that's gone. We can put those in there. They can get in that way, and that should just, you know, help things out a little bit, is what that should do. I also want to take a look at our finances, because I'm curious to see. So we didn't make money yesterday, but I'm assuming that's because of... Wait, so profit there. I want to say we're making a profit. Like a pretty healthy one, because I'm pretty sure at the start of the previous episode, we were sitting at like $200,000. We're now sitting at $400,000. I'm pretty sure we're actually making a profit. Also, restaurants. Let's do this. So, restaurant zone there. We are going to need some cashier counters, which, interestingly, we can get small ones, which I like a lot. I like the idea of the small counters a lot more, because then what I can do is 2 small counters right in the middle, or rather 2 small counters right at the end, and then we can do food counters and stuff like that. So snack counters like there. We can do sandwiches if we really wanted to. I do love a good sandwich. And we can do a coffee machine as well. So something like, I'm pretty sure it would go that way. And that's just a nice little setup for getting food in here, which I think is kind of a good thing. And then what we can also do is go in and say, you know, let's do the display fridges, because I'm pretty sure that's a thing we're going to need as well. So let's do a couple of display fridges down there. We'll do them there as well. In fact, we'll just kind of leave a gap there in case anyone gets stuck in those spaces. But a couple of little display fridges like that, and we can do food counters if we really want to, which I guess we can do there. And I don't know if anyone ever sits down in these restaurants. I really genuinely have no idea. So what I'll do is, let's maybe try and see if we can get people to be sitting in here. So we'll do a couple of tables, I guess. Nothing too crazy. And we'll do the square ones there. We'll go and we'll grab, I don't know what color, I guess sort of what goes well with green. Let's see if this purple goes well with green. I'm going to have my doubts, but we're going to try it. And then we'll do like some sort of off-white-ish tables. We'll get all that in there, and then we have a restaurant, I want to say. Is it any good? It can be a 2-star, so it's going to be Swift Veg is what it's going to be. And that looks like it'll be okay, I guess. It's not exactly super fancy, but it does the job. We've got some people going to the shops and all that. This one down here has had nowhere near the sales that it would like. That's less than good. I suppose it is a little bit out of the way, isn't it? Like ever so slightly out of the way. I mean, it's right on the central corridor through the airport, but on the other hand, it's just off of it. Whereas this one's like, you know, right there. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have vending machines right outside of a restaurant either. That seems like it would be a little bit counterintuitive, but well, they've got that now, so that's what they're getting. That's the way that's gonna be. I don't know. I like this. This, despite what it once was, despite what, you know, its humble beginning as a whatever, you know, well, you know what it was. I like it. I think it's all right. Now let's have a look here. So cabin cleaning and franchise cafes have been acquired. Let's get the catering service and we'll throw you guys on there. And let's get the, I never really do de-icing, but we could look into that. Quality kitchen restaurants. That's new. That is new. I'm quite tempted by that. Remote stands, meh. I don't know if we need that. Let's, no, I don't think we're going to need that. I think medium aircraft permit, let's start looking into that. It can go up to 6 administrators on it, so that'll be 24 hours from now, whatever. My accent, so, this is like Oh man, one of the most common things I get asked is where I'm from because of my accent. And I always tell people I'm from Northern Ireland, which is where I'm from. I have grown up here. I lived for 4 months in Sweden a couple of years ago, and that's it. But when I was growing up, most of my friends were on the internet, and I think I've told this story before. You can think that's sad. I don't care. I had fun. But they were from Scotland, and they were from England, and they were from America. And in the last 10 years, I've known a lot of people from the United States. And just from all over. I've consumed a lot of American media. I've consumed media from all over the place. And I've always been a sponge for accents. When I was growing up, I would always try and do voices and accents and stuff like that. So very much in my formative years, I was speaking to people from all over. More than I was speaking to people from here, right? So that's why my accent is the way it is. I get people from Northern Ireland that will say, hey, why do you try and why are you changing your voice? Why do you do that fake voice? Why don't you talk with the accent of the place that you're from? And I'll admit, there was a very when I was getting started on YouTube and in, I don't want to say broadcasting because that makes me sound like I'm trying to be bigger than I am, I guess. But when I got started, there was a very conscious effort to be like, hey, let's maybe try and make the accent a little more, I don't want to say understandable because I don't want to offend anybody. But if you're from Northern Ireland, come on, let's be honest now for just a second, right? At times, the accent, and this is the same with anywhere, I'm sure, there's places in England, and there's places in Scotland, and there's places in Wales, and there's places in the United States and Canada, and I'm sure there's places all over the world that we can all point to and go, that is an accent that is not designed for broadcasting, for television, for radio, right? So I was kind of like, let's try and make my accent a little bit easier to understand because my family's from all over different parts of the country, so my accent was a little bit of a combination of that. So anyway, I don't even know why I started talking about this. Oh yeah, because there was a word, I don't even know what word it was, but there was a word I went to pronounce one way. Anyway, you get the idea. At least hopefully you get the idea is what I'm going to go for. Now let's have a little look here. We have a medium aircraft permit, which means we can start having some fun soon. But I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start looking into these fuel trucks here. And we're going to start looking into the medium fuel depots as well. Because I think that might be a pretty good idea. We could look into some of this stuff as well, such as increased construction speed. But I think what we're going to want to start doing is medium runways, and we're going to start wanting to maybe expand the terminal a little bit is really what we're going to want to start doing. And this is definitely going to complicate things because we're going to need to redo a lot of taxiways where there's a lot of stuff we just need to redo really. So air traffic control tower, let's start with that. Because what we can do with the ATC tower is essentially just throw it on here, right? Have it towards the very bottom end of the map. It doesn't really matter that it's down there. I do want the air traffic control tower though. I know I don't need this air traffic control tower, but I want it because it means that we can go ahead and have as many medium flights as we can possibly manage at any one time. And that's kind of important to me. So that's kind of what we're doing there. Now we're going to go ahead and close this stand, and we're going to go ahead and close this stand. And then once this flight leaves, we're going to close that stand, and we're going to close that stand as well. The reason we're closing those stands is because, quite frankly, we need to expand this airport terminal way up. It needs to go, it's going to go way up this way. So those stands need to stay closed. And I'm thinking, so this is, let me see here. So this is takeoff and landing. It allows small aircraft, but only commercial. So what I'm thinking we do is we close this runway. What we can do actually is say, so both types are allowed to land over there. Let's close this runway. Let's demolish this runway. And let's deploy all of our contractors as well. because we're going to need all of our contractors for this. We're going to put a medium runway over there. We're going to get it set up as best we can. We still don't have, we're still just using grass taxiways as well. We're going to want to upgrade a lot of that. I want to get this airport set up perfectly, as best as it can possibly be set up for these medium planes coming in here, these medium flights. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm gonna, instead of doing one central column, because we know what that's going to look like. I know, haha, very funny. I made another giant in a video game. Look, I want to get away from that for a second, because I actually have an idea of maybe doing, now this is gone. Let me just, I'll explain my idea in just a second. I want to get this right. So that needs to go. And this can stay. That's fine down there. Because what we need to do is get ourselves a medium runway going that way. And I think it needs to go there. So that's 150,000. We can do that. That's no problem. Little difficult to see things right now because of the snow. I'm not going to lie. Definitely ever so slightly complicating things, but I'm sure we can figure it out. I'll use an actual paved runway entrance and exit, and we'll throw it. Do we throw it right at the bottom? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah, right at the bottom. So this one's going to go right at the top, and it's going to go right there. And what we can also do is bring some taxiway foundations up here, which is $100 more than it has been, but that's fine. This is going to come up like this and go like that. And I guess what we could do is slowly start to upgrade some of this as well. I hope we've got the money to upgrade at least this bit of taxiway. We do. It's quite expensive, but we do. So what we can do is go to here, go to taxiway, upgrade U, which is done instantly by the looks of it, but we do need to just bulldoze U. So we'll get that all done. We don't have a lot of money right now, but the good news is once this is all built, we can open this runway back up. We can get a bunch of planes coming back in. And I think what we might actually have to do is we'll just reopen these stands for the time being. I don't think we're going to be able to go too crazy just yet, but hopefully in the not too distant future, we can do some good things here. So that comes out of there. We're going to want to go in and say that these nodes come out of there. And yeah, we're going to have flights running late for a little while as well. But that's all right. Now that's gone down there. Let's go to U, and we'll get that in there. And I guess my idea, the best way to explain it is we're going to have an offset pillar thing going on. So we're going to have it on this left side, probably from that corner to that intersection. We're going to build way up here. We're going to put a bunch of medium stands on the right side here, since that's where the medium runway is. And that's where all of our flights are going to go to. All of our medium flights can come in that way. And I think what we'll probably do is clear out these 3 stands here and put some service stuff over here, so that none of the small planes using this runway here have any reason to need to taxi around, and none of the medium planes have any need to taxi to the other side either. That way, everything kind of stays where it needs to stay. Nothing should be too crazy, and the flights aren't going to hold each other back. So we can still have general aviation coming in. We can still have 3 small flights coming in per day, but absolutely nothing too crazy, and I think that's probably for the best. And I think that's just the way we can do things. I think that'll kind of work out, is what it'll do. So let's go ahead and just get this little bit here finished so that I can get this runway open so that we can go ahead and start making more money. So now that you're connected as well, so the runway is open. General aviation isn't coming in. We are going to let small aircraft use that runway as well. And let's see, upgrade, let's build approach lights. And that should let that runway operate at all times, which is fantastic news. So we should see at some point some flights coming in to use this, which would be absolutely lovely, is what I'm gonna say. I'm hoping that we're gonna see some flights wanting to use this runway anyway. That would be nice. It's looking like most of our flights are still taxiing around to use the other one. Do I need to change the takeoff mode? Common takeoff position, aircraft size, specific takeoff position. I'm going to say common takeoff position because I think that might be what's needed to make that work. So they all start from here. Again, I'm not 100% sure if that's actually going to work, but we're going to find out. But the good news is, I mean, a large runway is going to be easy to get in there as well. Although we'll probably want to just put a large... Honestly, we're going to want a much bigger airport before we start having giant planes coming in here. I'm just hoping that this actually works. Because again, we don't allow general aviation here. But I'm certainly hoping this actually ends up working out for us. Because at the minute, still, there's been no planes coming over this way to use that runway. So if they do that, that would be lovely, because I imagine the airport's going to function a lot better if we have planes wanting to use the new runway. Are you using it? No, you're coming in that way. All right. So you're going out that way. That's fine. So yeah, none of them are opting to use it. That's whatever. It's no big deal. We do have small aircraft allowed to go there, medium aircraft as well, but it's whatever. It's fine. Let's just focus on, I guess, just making more money for the time being. And at some point, we can get, you know, medium aircraft in here. I think what I am going to have to do, though, like I said, I think these 3 stands are going to go. These 4 stands are going to go. These ones aren't. So we're going to upgrade those to... What is it's asphalt. It's not asphalt. So asphalt is what we'll go for. And then what we can do is maybe upgrade some of the taxiways, some of the roads, all that stuff as well. So let's... these ones over here probably don't need upgraded, honestly. But the taxiways do, so it might be weird to not upgrade them. I'm not really sure what to do there, honestly. I'm not really sure what to do there, because it's going to be a couple of $100,000 to upgrade all of the... everything, really. It's going to be a lot of money to get all those upgrades in. So... I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure what to do here. What I will do is upgrade the service roads, because I think the service roads could probably do with a bit of an upgrade. That right there can be upgraded as well. These ones are on here. I can't upgrade without upgrading the aircraft stands. This can be upgraded as well. See, this is the thing as well. These stands would need upgraded. They'll need to upgrade. I think we are going to have to upgrade the general aviation stands is what we're going to have to do. And apparently, there we go. So that's being upgraded as well. Yeah, I kind of feel like that is what we're going to have to do here, is upgrade the general aviation stands a little bit. These guys here might need a little something going on, so let's see what we can do. Let's go in with, let me see. What is it I'm looking for? There's a certain thing that I'm looking for here. This. So concrete tiles. We'll do some concrete tiles just underneath these, I guess. So something a bit like that. We can do some concrete tiles underneath the air traffic control tower. We could do some concrete tiles underneath this air traffic control tower as well. We can do, let's see, do some sidewalks kind of down here as well, just to make that come right the way down there. And I guess, yeah, we're just going to have to upgrade these stands over here. We're going to have to upgrade the taxiways. It's a lot of money. Although these taxiways up here, we probably don't want to upgrade because they are also going to get bulldozed at some point. Essentially, what I think we're going to end up doing is we're going to close these 4 stands, these 3 stands, take out those taxiways. We can still have a somewhat functional airport. Obviously, a considerably reduced airport in terms of functionality, but we can still have these 3 stands running and all of these general aviation stands running while we upgrade to get rid of 7 small stands in favor of hopefully 7 medium stands as well. That's my thinking. That's my plan. We're going to build essentially from that corner to that corner straight up. We're going to get a bunch of medium stands in there, and hopefully the airport capacity will be enough to actually withstand the 7 medium stands that we're adding in. Basically what I'm getting at is I've said the word stand so much that it has lost every bit of meaning that it once had. Stand, 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 stand. Stand.